unpick a set of brasses.
Imagine losing your only son, only to later discover he left behind a $35 million secret. Now picture uncovering that your daughter-in-law may have betrayed him in the worst possible way. This is a story of heartbreak, family, betrayal, and shocking revelations that will leave you questioning what love, loyalty, and wealth really mean. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Blackish Focus. Here we share emotional, true, and motivational stories every single day. These are stories of betrayal, resilience, love, and redemption that remind us of the strength of the human spirit. My name is Pedro, and my life has been full of trials I never expected. I once thought my struggles ended when my son Mavis grew into a man. But life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. What began as joy turned into years of hardship, abandonment, betrayal, and finally, redemption. Mavis was my world. I raised him alone after his mother, Christine, walked away when he was barely old enough to talk. I worked 2 jobs, scraping by, doing everything I could to give him a chance at life. We struggled in poverty, but we had love, and that bond kept us going. I believed that bond was unbreakable. As Mavis grew, he became ambitious, smart, and determined. Despite our hardships, he found ways to shine. Eventually, he struck gold. Investments paid off, and suddenly he went from a struggling young man to a millionaire. I was proud, but also worried. Wealth can change people, and in my son's case, it did. He married Isabelle, a woman whose beauty turned heads, but whose heart I always doubted. Soon, he began drifting from his responsibilities, leaving behind the children he had with other women, and cutting me out of his life. Isabelle convinced him that his past was a burden, and slowly she erased his ties to me and to his other children. Then came the phone call that shattered my world. Mavis was dead in a car accident. His car had exploded. They said there was nothing left to recover. I buried my son and tried to pick up the pieces, caring for his children who still looked for their father at the window, asking me when he was coming home. At the funeral, Isabelle and Christine sat in the front row in black dresses, while I sat quietly with my grandchildren. The pastor praised Mavis as a successful man, a generous man, but I knew the truth. He had lost his way, abandoned his children, and let wealth blind him. Yet, even then, I still loved him, because he was my son. But something felt wrong. The lifestyle Isabelle flaunted didn't match the story she told me. She claimed Mavis had left nothing, that he was nearly bankrupt. Yet she moved into a Malibu mansion, dripping in luxury. Then I noticed something else. Her child, Smith, didn't look like Mavis. His features were strikingly similar to another man I saw with her, David Torres. I couldn't shake the feeling that Smith wasn't my grandson at all. And that suspicion turned out to be true when a DNA test revealed that Smith shared no blood with me or Mavis. Isabelle had lied, manipulated, and deceived my son into believing he was raising another man's child. Then came a letter that nearly made me collapse. A bank informed me I was the beneficiary of a trust worth $35 million, money Mavis had hidden in my name, money that Isabelle knew nothing about. He had planned ahead, protecting his real children and ensuring that even in death, they would have a future. But the more I investigated, the darker the truth became. I uncovered documents linking Isabelle and David to suspicious financial transfers, insurance policies, and even conversations about Mavis's death. I came to believe they had staged his fatal accident for money. Then came the moment I will never forget. As I confronted Isabelle and David in their home, demanding the truth, a familiar voice stopped us all cold. It was Mavis. My son walked into the driveway alive. He revealed the shocking truth. He had discovered the bomb in his car that night and escaped seconds before it exploded. He chose to stay dead to protect himself and gather evidence. For a year, he had lived in hiding, recording conversations, collecting bank records, and documenting every crime committed by Isabelle and David. When the police finally arrested Isabelle and David, the evidence was overwhelming. Recordings of their plans, their financial theft, and the insurance fraud sealed their fate. Both were sentenced to decades in prison. Isabelle lost everything she had schemed to gain. For Mavis, returning home meant facing his past mistakes, abandoning his children, listening to lies, and forgetting the family that truly mattered. He wept as he reunited with his kids, promising never to leave them again. This time, he kept that promise. With the trust fund secured, Mavis and I gave his children the life they deserved. Destiny, Marcus, Kevin, and even Smith, though not by blood, were raised together, loved equally. Mavis taught them that family isn't just about DNA, but about the love and presence you give every day. We built a new home filled with laughter, forgiveness, and second chances. Mavis remarried years later to a kind woman who loved all 4 children as her own. And as for me, I finally felt at peace, knowing that the sacrifices of my past had not been in vain. This story began with betrayal and heartbreak, but it ended with justice, redemption, and love stronger than wealth. What would you have done in Pedro's place? Kept the $35 million secret, or revealed it sooner? Like this video if it inspired you. Don't forget to subscribe to Blackish Focus for more powerful true stories that touch the heart and remind us that love always wins.